What? I'm not selecting the correct game. Hold on. Ooh. That is... Ah! Hog! Video! Woo! Time to notify people.
As we feared, the respite afforded this land was but fleeting. The end draweth nigh.
Alrighty.
Take care, my friend.
So, Charlian would keep its counsel while the world is lost to ruin.
It would. Come what may, we shall live on. We must.
Do as you must then, but we scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
I love this opening. So good. I can't wait to see what they have in store for us next expansion. Ah, this is so good. Tales of loss and fire and faith. Now it's Benui time. Hello. I am Benui. And today, we do Benui things. The Benuiest of stuff, in fact. Tales of lost wine and grapes. Not the grapes. Hi, Venred. How are you doing? Man, words cannot express how much I love Endwalker. It's so good. And this is even after accounting for recency bias. Damn. This expansion is fantastic. It's so good. More. Doing Monster Hunter. So fine. Oh no. Got it. Did I transport the energy, the mood correctly? Spite of obstacles we faced, our plan proceeds apace. Just a little farther and we'll reach the capital itself. Still, we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. As soon as the camp has been made for purpose, we are to discuss a course of action with Lucia. Would you mind asking Ishtola and Raha to join us? That building to the northeast of the camp. Alexander will meet you there. Okay. Man, I know what happens next. I know, big shocker. But, like... A meeting? Yes, I'll make my way over once my head is cleared. Both have been feeling out of sorts since we arrived. They are thick with a palpable aura of malevolence. There's the monstrous tower on the horizon, jagged, hideous, unholy. Even at a distance, its presence is overwhelming. Much like the sensation I felt in the Tower of Zod, only far more terrifying. Ether flows unceasingly toward it, converging to a swirling mass of unfathomable power. For a blessing, the constant chill in the air is helping to anchor my senses in the here and now. Tell the others I shall be with you for 3 moments. Okay, Stola. You do you. You will be pleased to know most of the Tempest have been quartered inside the nearby buildings and are receiving treatment as we speak. I do, however, feel no small amount of guilt commandeering civilian homes. The occupants may be gone, but everything is exactly as they left it. Considering the length of time that has clearly passed since, one would expect to find them ransacked. Strangely, there are no signs of anything having been stolen. It's possible that everyone fled at first sign of trouble, though it seems to me that they left too many useful possessions behind. Aye. Although there is no conclusive evidence, I strongly suggest that they were tampered. Sorry, I was merely thinking out loud. You mentioned a meeting? I will make my way there. So many tempered. No, whoops. I just closed the app for my face. Whoopsie. There, I'm back. I merely wanted to calibrate it, not close it. There we are. Thank you for informing the others of a meeting. When everyone is here, we will begin. Everyone is here. So, like you Smash Brothers it up in this bitch.
Our present situation is as follows. Efforts to aid the people of Garlemald have begun in earnest. Moreover, having entered into the capital, the Imperial Palace is within our reach.
But before we proceed further, we must learn what has befallen this city. For therein lies the key to understanding and combating the Telophoroid's designs.
I have a suggestion, if I may. Several of the Imperial soldiers we captured on the Magna Glaciers are members of the Populares and acquaintances of mine. Once we have cured them of their tempering, they should be able to give a reliable account of the events leading to the capital's downfall.
A promising idea. I will assist the healers and their ministrations. Of course, I will require a proxy of my own, assuming you can spare one.
Would you like a hand?
No, I am sure we will manage. Better that you take my place in the field. The noxious ether of this place disagrees with me, and as I shall need to draw on my own for the treatment, 'twill be prudent for me to remain within the camp.
This talk of curing the tempered is all well and good, but I reckon the cold is a more pressing concern. All the houses round here are fitted with ceruleum heaters that could keep us warm and toasty. Problem is, the machines seem to have given up the ghost, and if we keep sitting around, freezing our asses off, we'll be next. My smiths reckon that with the right parts, they can have them working again, but it won't be easy.
Understood. The machinist will assist them in the repairs.
The rest of us should either stand watch or survey the area.
We've made our presence known to the Telophoroi. They will be searching for us, if they have not already ascertained our position. That we have seen no sign of them since the battle suggests they have yet to do so. However, I suspect they may be biding their time.
Or perhaps we are beneath their notice.
In any event, we'll find no answers standing around here. Urianger, Estinian and myself have visited Garlemald recently, so we'll lead the reconnaissance efforts. Perhaps bolstered by a few Bosnian and Dalmatian scouts from my previous excursion for good measure.
Don't forget about us Alamegans. We have experienced scouts of our own.
Well now, this is turning out to be a rather sizable team. With such numbers, we should be able to cover a wide area with relative ease, including that surrounding the Imperial Palace. How about you, Graha? I have a feeling we'll find a use or two for that vanishing spell of yours.
'Twould be my honor to be of service, though I doubt that you of all people need rely on my tricks.
That leaves us with guard duty.
As a matter of fact, I have something else in mind for the two of you and Alphino. Between here and the center of the capital lies the Eblan Rhine. I would have you search the area for survivors. Your keen sense of direction, honed in your extensive travels, should prove useful in navigating the ice fields.
Extensive travels is something of an understatement, but I suppose if there's nothing else that needs doing.
This too is a vital task, and I appreciate your willingness to see it done. Rest assured that a serving of hot soup will be waiting for you. You all have your duties. Let us make haste. May the Fury bless and keep you.
Indeed. I just love the choices they give you in this expansion. It's so good. Just sassing up the NPCs up here. So good. Just extensive travel. Travel's a bit of an understatement. I went to a different dimension. Not a month ago, from my perspective. Gods be good. If it's this cold with Tataru's clothing, I'd like to know how we fare without it. I must remember to thank her when you next meet. It makes me realize, too, that while the people of Galamont have spent their whole lives in conditions like these, even they'd be hard-pressed to survive away from the warmth of their homes. If there are any survivors, we must find them quickly. Monolane! Whoa, chums! I've been given something to do, have you? As it happens, I too have been ordered to make myself useful. Sounds like a rather tall order. Since you ask, we are to scour the Eblan Rime for survivors. What wander on ice fields and of the off chance to find someone? Oh, wait. I read everyone as Emanalan. There was 2 lines of Alize in there. You'd rather forever finish the job without the benefit of my expertise. Or more specifically, my telescope. Come, friends! I know just the spot to begin our search. He'd probably regret this, but we may as well humor him. Oh, fuck. I'm not even on the right side of the mountain, fuck me. Wait, huh? That is. Oh, the music here. It's so good! The ice-blanketed ruins of the once great Garlemald. It's such a shame we didn't come here before it fell to ruins. Then again, we probably would have done nothing but put it to ruins ourselves. I spy with my little telescope a massive sheep thing. Or maybe it's a cow. Not what we're after either way. Is that an ether current? Oh no, just a wind sprain. Other than that, it's all snow. Snow, snow, snow. But lo, what do I see over there on a hillock? There's no mistaking it, that's a girl! A survivor. Show me. Over there, behind that tree. Over there, behind that tree. It looks like she's running away from something. Though, surely not us. She wouldn't even know we're here unless she had a telescope like mine. All I can tell is that she's wearing a pale green dress. A rather fetching one, I'd add. She'll be long gone by the time we get anywhere near. We should be able to follow her footprints. I'll let Lucia know where you're heading. Oh, and take these warming tinctures with you. The poor guy must be chilled to the bone. Not on the verge of freezing to death. That's actually very thoughtful. Thank you. But won't you need some for yourself? No, I'll be fine. As a man of chivalry, my honor demands I did no less. And lest we forget, the very reason we are here is to protect those in need. Now go, and Godspeed. A trail of fresh footprints lead east. These footprints appear to be the same as those you saw previously, and they lead toward the building. We're getting closer. I'm sure of it. At first, we thought she'd gone inside the building, but the door doesn't look to have been opened in some time. She might still be nearby, so we'll keep looking around here. Then again, it is also possible that she ran right past this place. Would you mind searching up again? Up ahead? The girl in the green dress anxiously surveys her surroundings. For you to call out to her from this distance might attract wild beasts to your location. Be safer to get closer first, but you must do so without drawing her attention. Wee. Hello. Perfectly hidden. Well, hello. That is too funny. Go, Benui! Run! Okay. Still in one piece. Well, hello. Who are you? Step back. This house is packed with explosives. Take another step and I'll blow this place sky high. Huh? Please. We just want to talk. I'm Alfina. This is my sister, Alice. And their good friend, Rain. We have no intention of hurting or taking anything from you or anyone else. I give you my word. We and the convicts have come to provide aid to people of Garlemald. Aid? You savages are the ones responsible for all of this. You did this to us! No, we didn't. We didn't, I promise you. One of the other reasons we came was to find out what happened here, in fact. The Telophoroi are the ones to blame. They are the ones who laid waste to Garlemald, and they won't stop until they've destroyed the entire world. They are the enemy. Our enemy. On our way, we encountered Imperial soldiers who had been made their thralls. Those poor souls are now in our care, and we are striving to cure them of their affliction. You're the first person we've met who wasn't already enslaved. How were you able to escape? Are there any others like you? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to overwhelm you. Let's start with introductions. Can you tell me your name? My name is Lysina. As for how I've managed to stay sane, I've been asking myself the same question. Ever since that night of the roar, the terrible roar, and then the screams. I was screaming too, I think. I'm not sure, I can't remember. Then came the silence. Everything was still. It was like waking up from a nightmare. Thought that maybe the fighting had stopped and stepped outside. If your hells are real, I saw one that day. I ran. Past friends, people I'd known for all my life. Eyes vacant, dead, staring at the sky. Others were mad and violent. I saw them struggle with soldiers, but didn't stay to watch. I fled as far as my legs would take me. Do you have family here? Is this their home? No. This is Victor's Spoils. A mansion for retired soldiers. Or it was. But now me and a few others are borrowing it. As for the explosives, I was making that up. I just wanted to keep everyone safe, and I didn't know if you were... The truth is our supplies are running low. You said you're here to help, can you? Of course. Whatever assistance we can provide, we will. Thank you. I'd better tell the others first, though. Wait here. This is everyone. Lucina says you can be trusted. But these are desperate times. We'd be fools to let foreign troops into our home. Having said that, were you to provide us with means of heating a place, as a sign of goodwill, perhaps we could take you at your word. If that is too much to ask, then leave us be. Time to put my firewood gathering skills to use. Could you provide the spark with a little magic, Alice? We'll have a fire burning in no time. Maybe build it under the gazebo. What? Oh, you mean the bower? Yes, do as you will. And then the music just stopped. Someone is suspicious. Sorry, I'm still finding it hard to come to terms with all that's happened. Now that you're here, though, I'm hoping things might change for the better. You know, I've worked up quite a sweat from all that running about, so I'll leave space around for the fire for the others. As you can tell, they're in far worse state than me. We were planning to look for somewhere warmer with more food, but they are not going anywhere till we nurse them back to health, which I don't know how to do. Is there anything you can do to help us with? I can treat the frostbite and their wounds, but it will take time for the fire to do its work. Now would be a good occasion to make use of Emanaland's tinctures. Those that can warm the body from inside out. Will you make sure everyone gets one? The numbness is beginning to subside, though I suspect once the fire dies, it will return with a vengeance. Warming tincture. I've never heard of such a thing. No harm in trying. But tell me, have you heard aught of the city? Though calling it that seems absurd after what's happened. It's nothing but ruins now. The few buildings still standing offer no more than meager protection from wind and snow. Food production, water purification. The magitate that sustained us has come to a grinding halt. What machina that remains operational cannot be run for lack of ceruleum. Of course, Cerulia Engines is full of the stuff, but for all the good it does us, no one who knows the first thing about extraction or refinement. All is well. Yes, never better. Oh, what sweet libation is this? Is it poison by any chance? That was a joke. A joke! If I laugh, 'tis that I may not weep. So said the poet. And alas, my tears would freeze on my cheek ere they fell. We are the blessed damned to bear witness to the fall of the great empire, while our brethren lie dead, or live on as puppets of flesh. First came the war, then came the roar. When morning came, Garlemald was no more. A cacophony of gunfire, explosions, and screams was a beloved capital razed to the ground. From the rubble rose the disheveled remnants, their lavish finery caked in ash as they shuffled mindlessly toward the palace. Each bearing a fragment of stone or metal, an offering perhaps to the architect of a destruction. A hopeful few tried to reason with a deranged, only to be beaten for their kindness. But I knew better than to plead with the horde. I fled with my health, if not my conscience preserved. Now I wait for with my fellow cowards for a final judgment. What do you want? A tincture. I would drink it, I suppose. This? Oh, it's a radio. You don't have them where you come from, I take it. We use them to listen to messages sent by others, even over great distances. They are different types, but this model is by far the most popular. Made with quality components crafted with the finest ore, sourced from Locus Amonis it is. Not all that useful since the capital fell to ruin. The people at the broadcasting station must have either fled or ended up like all the others, because we've been hearing the same music, being played over and over again. Home beyond the horizon. An ode to the brave men and women sent to reclaim our ancestral homeland of Locus Amonis. We may have founded an empire in these frozen wastes, but we always hope to take back what was once ours. It's a solemn reminder that though we must suffer great hardship, better days will surely come. Despite everything, I believe that Emperor Varus yet lives, that he speaks to us through our radios. It was cunning strategy faking his murder. He must have foreseen this catastrophe and chosen to conceal himself, that he may one day make his triumphant return. Yes, I'm sure of it. Emperor Varus would not be defeated so easily. I love this version of their theme. It's so good. What's that? So this is what you gave the others. Thank you, I'll save it for later. Actually, I have a few things to ask you. Are you part of the group staying in Lateran? I saw Legatus Vergilius' troops heading toward the Magna Glacies a few days ago. Are they the ones you encountered? Camp Broken Glass, you call it. And Virgilia and her men are all there now. So how did you reach the Magna Glaciers? Did you cross the mountains on foot? Airships. Then there might be a way to... Lucina, where's everyone? Is something the matter? Voice from inside, you say? You must be imagining things. Everyone's out here. Perhaps a baby, Almasty, has found its way into the house. Won't be the first time. Without the soldiers to scare them off, wild animals have been roaming closer to the settlements. Some have been known to attack people too. I've just had an idea. If you and yours are strong enough to defeat the Legatus, then surely a few beasts shouldn't pose a threat. If you've a mind to continue helping us, perhaps you could head to the other side of the lake. There's a small group of tappers living there. People whose job was to extract ceruleum. They still do, for what we can tell. I've already tried asking if they would share their fuel with us, but they are not willing to give it away. They want food in exchange. Lots of food. And that's something we don't have and can't get on our own. On top of that, to even reach that end, we have to make our way past all those creatures. Would you be willing to go to a place? We only need enough ceruleum to last until the others are strong enough to travel up to our camp. The offer still stands, that is. Oh, and I don't expect you to give up your own supplies, but there might be another way to pay the tappers. Oh. If it's ceruleum you need, then ceruleum you shall have. Thank you so much. To reach Tapper's Den, you'll have to cross the lake. The ice is thick enough to support a person's weight, but if you'd rather not take the risk, you'll need to take the long way round. Finding the entrance can be a bit tricky too, so it's easier to just look for someone standing guard outside. However you decide to head there, please be careful. The music is so beautiful in this area. I was looking forward to seeing Garlemald, like, when I played this game. For years. The glimpses you were shown in, like, the short bursts of you being able to play as Tinian and infiltrate it and stuff. It was so cool. And now it's in ruins.
Who goes there? How'd you find us? What do you mean to stand out just like a sore thumb? If the purebloods over at Victor's spoil hadn't given away your location, you never found us. Those stuck-up souls thought they could come waltzing in here like demanding ceruleum, with nothing to offer in return. Ah! Looks like the boot's on the other foot now the capital's gone to shite. So they've resorted to sending them to negotiate. I know your game, Salsad. If they think we've given in to the intimidation, they've got another thing coming.
What the fuck? Bruh, I'm not hired by them. If you want to get your ass handed to you so badly, I will oblige though. Stop, please. Consider me intimidated. Oh, that's funny. And dead. Well, not dead, but defeated nonetheless. Well, hello. There you are. Just after you left, Lucina asked me to go catch up with you, in case you needed a hand. Someone must have let slip that I've had a little experience in transporting barrels of ceruleum. So this is Tapper's Den. Well then, after you. I've, in fact, very much intimidated their asses. Ooh. Hello.
Who are you? What happened to the guards? Well, I beat them up. Eorzeans and rebels here to save the people of Garlemald. That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why in the hells would you pass up this chance to put those imperial bastards to the sword? Let me guess. None of you are Gallian. You were brought here from other lands. Giabania, Yangcha, Bozja, Damaska, to name but a few. Some dragged here against their will. Others fed bollocks about a better life and to put to work extracting ceruleum. All given the extreme title of An, placing us firmly in the bottom rung of the ladder. The Escher ladder? But the old hierarchy means nothing in the new Garlemald, says we. About the only thing that's escaped more or less is unscathed the Cerulia Indians. Since sustaining us even with a paymasters out of the picture. We hear you're experts in drawing up ceruleum from the bottom of the lake, but how can you do that if it's frozen over? Nah, wouldn't you like to know? Trade secret, I'm afraid. At any rate, it's not as if ceruleum is used for much these days. What with the city in ruins? We take enough to power heaters and save a surplus for later. And though it helps stave off the cold, it does sod all of but a hunger, as we can trade it away. Speaking of which, be sure to tell a contingent we've got ceruleum by the barrel full if they're interested. We exchange it for whatever provisions they're willing to spare. We can certainly ask, but if you're all free to go now, why carry on living here? Free to go? Go where? Even if you managed to get back out to our homelands, there'd be nothing left for us thanks to the Empire. The knowledge of skills we acquired working here could be practically useless outside of Garlemald. So we're staying for the time being. As long as there's a need for ceruleum, we'll find a way to get by, even if Garlemald as we knew it has gone for good. Gone for good. Regardless of what the Eels about contingent does for the people of Garlemald, the Empire itself is already a thing of the past. For many, that would be cause for celebration, while for others, the whole way of life will have been turned upside down. After all the atrocities committed by the Empire's name, perhaps it's for the best that it's consigned to history. But what of the ordinary people, their lives and their stories? Should they be forgotten too? I suppose there'll be plenty of time to ponder that later. For now, let's see about getting some ceruleum. So you've come seeking ceruleum, have you? Yeah. Why, the purebloods of Victor Spoil sent you. To turn the enemies for help, they must be more desperate than I'd thought. Then again, Lucina's got a little sister to think about. A sister? But we only saw Lucina and 3 men. Oh, it's possible she died from whatever was ailing her. If she needed treatment, I doubt there'd be any way to get it around here. I may have refused Lucina at first, thinking she'd come back with something to exchange. But I can spare them a bottle's worth of ceruleum. Consider it a reward for introducing me to the rest of your contingent. Be sure to send them your way. You hear? Can't for the life of me think why Lucina would keep their sister a secret from us.
But we can ask about that after we've delivered the ceruleum. Come on, let's hurry back. Oh, man. I know what's about to happen. I mean, duh, I've played this not a year ago, but still. No, wait, how long has this been out? A little over a year, right? No, wait, it's a bit, yeah, it's almost a year and a half now. Holy shit, time flies. It came out December 2021. I keep getting my thoughts confused and stuff about what released when, but no. It's on odd numbered years usually, but the next expansion for the first time is going to be on an even numbered year because they'll not get it done before January. I think that way around, but I might be doubly confused, I don't know. This isn't right. It's too quiet. I would have thought Alfina would still be treating them by fire, but they're nowhere to be seen. I look inside the house. We'll search outside. They can't have gone far. Oh, I was here. They asked me to help carry supplies, but when I followed them back here, they attacked me. Caught me off guard, forced me to defend myself. I fear they fared rather worse than me. You can't fool us. We know what you're about. Vultures, that's what you are. Waiting in the wings for us to show weakness, then you swoop. Here to help? What rot! All a ploy to make us lower our guard. Let you in, put ourselves at mercy, put us in chains, steal our lands, get your revenge. You're wrong. That's not what any of us want. Save the arguments for later. We've got bigger problems. For empty medicine bottles in the bed was still warm. It's true. Lucina was hiding her sick sister inside the house. But now there's no sign of either of them. Where are they? Where did they go? Away from you and yours. If you think I'll tell you, you're a fool. I'd never give up on people. We're trying to help them, you idiot! Her sister's ill. The empty bottles prove it. So the medicine ran out, so she put it in the pocket to make it easier to carry. Or to avoid the sound of clinking glass. There are beasts everywhere. How could you let them go alone? To protect them from you. Invade a homeland, tainted with the same sorcery used to slay a countryman. The Guardian should sooner die than suffer the insult. Better for them to flee, keep the purity intact. They can be corrupted by than to be corrupted by vile magics. What the fuck, man? We were waiting for a chance to free them, since the moment you arrived. This is getting us nowhere. I cannot say how Lucina and her sister will react when we find them. But we find them we must. Go on without me, both of you. I first need to tend to my injuries and theirs. I will join you in the search after. Alright, but be careful. We'll do our best to find them quickly. There's only one path out here, so that's where we'll start. You fucking idiot.
2 sets of fresh footprints. Young women, judging by the size. It's definitely them. Come on. This is such a, like, projecty thing. Like, the Galilean dude is projecting his way of life onto everyone else, sort of. Like, he basically assumed because they invade, pillage, and conquer, and enslave the people of the lands they have conquered, that everyone else in the world would do the same. And because of that, it's better for them to die instead of be saved. The trail stops at the frozen lake. Perhaps they chose this route as to not leave footprints. I can't think of any other reason. Look at this place, it's crawling with beasts. I can only imagine how hard it must be for an ailing sister to cross the ice. We could really do with Elfina's help, but we can't afford to wait for him. Let's split up and look for clues. I just about know where they are, so I can probably speed up the clue finding process. There we go. Wet paper half buried in the snow appears to be a flyer for a theatre group, though the run of the show's advertised has long since ended. Should be something around here. That is. Blood staining the snow appears to be fresh. Judging by the amount, the victim may have been severely wounded. Trail of blood leads southeast. Yep. Advantage of having played this is knowing exactly where the NPCs are. So you can skip searching the big ass area. Just go right here. Well. That does not look too good, doesn't it? The 2 bodies are already cold. I mean, that is rather faster here, yeah. Just raise them, Lamau. Nah, doesn't work.
Blood trail. We found one. They were attacked. No. Why wouldn't they?
Safer to brave the wilds than trust in our magic. We should have... I should have... We can't leave them like this. We have to take them home.
What if we're only making it worse?
Maybe we don't belong here, but neither do they. Not out here in the wind and the cold. I heard the story about Varus's voice from beyond the grave. Of course, I didn't believe it, but Licinia and her sister did. Perhaps there is something to the tale after all. I want to understand. So I'm going to borrow this for a while, if that's all right. You had every reason not to trust us. We came as trespassers, invaders. But I pray that in time, we will be more than that to you. That we will find a way to help your loved ones. And see that no more children are left to freeze alone in the snow.
There must have been something we could have done. But what? We've never come here. Would they still be alive if we hadn't? We've already caused an thumb here. Let us return to the camp before we cause any more. As for those inside the house, we should send someone to take care of them. Someone who isn't us. And all we can do for now is make a report to Lucia and everything in our power to prevent further tragedy. So let us linger here no more. Random level up. Nice. Big. Alice and Alfino tell me they've finished their preliminary search for survivors, but refrained from saying much more than that. Clearly they are reluctant to provide details, Might I ask for your account? You may.
Thank you for your report. We shall inform the troops of these developments and instruct them to proceed with the utmost caution should they encounter any survivors.
Allow me to go and speak with the ones at the victor's spoils. They may be more willing to listen to a fellow Garlean and accept our offer of assistance.
I pray you are right. And though I am loath to burden you any further, should there be an appropriate occasion to speak of Licinia and her sister, please do so.
I am sorry to have put you through this.
My distress is nothing compared to their suffering. So tell me, what else have we learned?
As you may have already heard, we have succeeded in curing the members of the Populares, Maxima identified. They have provided us with some intriguing insights into the current state of Garlemald. The assassination of Emperor Varus was the catalyst for the civil war. Nerva declared his claim to the throne, and his opponents refused to recognize it. Fighting broke out in the capital, where Nerva's Third Legion clashed with the First, who remained loyal to Varus even after his death.
Of course, even Imperial warmongers would balk at the idea of turning their shining city into a battleground. Like burning down the wood to spite the wasps. Neither side would be so mad. Unless something or someone inflamed their animosity to such an extent that they could not help but act against their better judgment.
It brings to mind events at the Gimlet Dark, does it not? The Emperor's sudden withdrawal from the front lines, specifically. Nerva and his father, Titus, Varus's then political rival, took advantage of rumors that Crown Prince Xenos had been possessed by a demon.
Elidibus, what better way to disparage your enemies than with the truth, or a close enough approximation?
Indeed. But before their accusations could be substantiated, many of Titus's followers were silenced. While some were merely stripped of their status, others died under curious circumstances. One after another, suddenly and suspiciously.
Again, Elidibus. Like as not, he had a hand in it. No evidence was found to implicate Varus, certainly. Nevertheless, Titus, Nerva, and the Third Legion would have judged it a brazen attempt by the Emperor to rid himself of his political enemies. And then, in the midst of this growing turmoil, Varus Sosgalvis is murdered. And Garlemald's own prodigal son, Gaius van Belsar, is named the murderer. Shortly thereafter, Nerva claims the right of succession, and in response, the First Legion claims the assassination was part of a coup d'etat orchestrated by Titus and Nerva.
So no one is at fault, and everyone else is to blame.
I should add that both parties received substantial financial backing, presumably to provide them with the means and encouragement to pursue a swift victory, and that these contributions came from the self-same benefactor.
I'd heard House Brutus had been filling the Third Legion's coffers, but the First as well.
It would seem so. Though the Populares determined that the First Legion received funds from a variety of organizations, all had connections to House Brutus.
So Fandaniel, in the guise of Asahi, was playing both sides against each other the entire time.
The information we gained from my friends does not end there. One night, shortly after fighting broke out, the capital was shaken by an immense tremor. From that point onward, they have no memories, no recollection of any events, including our clash on the Magna Glaciers. But when asked about the Imperial Palace and its bizarre transformation, they somehow recall Emperor Varys giving them orders in their dreams. May the Tower of Babel stand as testament to the glory of Garlemald.
This sounds awfully familiar.
We have something to show you all.
Varys spoke to them through this radio. Perhaps it was a recording, but if not, that would be inexplicable.
We are of one mind, then.
The ether that permeates the ore used in this device is almost identical to that of the talismans.
I see it. While it is likely more by coincidence than design, these devices might also ward against a primal's influence. A picture is beginning to form. If the tremor felt throughout Garlemald was a wave of ether emitted by a primal, then while those within range would have been tempered, those huddled around a radio desperate for news concerning the Civil War would have been spared.
No wonder Licinia kept it close.
My friends, I must speak with you. A young man was caught trying to steal our supplies. He is a soldier of the Iron Men, we think, but one who has not been made thrall. Thankfully, Magni restrained him before blood was spilled. The stranger is outside, if you wish to ask him questions.
I think we do.
Who do we have here?
Garleans? Traitors to your homeland! Have you no shame?
I am Lucia Junius, a Temple Knight of Ishgard. And you are?
Iulus Pier Norbanus. And that's all you invaders will get from me.
We are not here to invade Garlemald. Far from it. Like you, our allies in Eorzea and the Far East fight in defense of their lives and their loved ones even as we speak. But it is the people of Garlemald who have suffered most. This we know. And that is why we have come to offer you our aid, that we may unite against our common foe. Whether you believe me or not, those are the facts. Now, answer me this. Why would a proud soldier of the Empire be reduced to stealing? The situation must be dire indeed for you to go to such lengths. If it is supplies you seek, we would gladly share ours, or turn a blind eye while you leave with your spoils.
I will not negotiate. My commander will determine how to deal with you and yours. If you wish to treat with him, I will take you, but no more than 3.
I don't much like the sound of that. But if we do accept his proposal, I suggest the 2 of us and...
Please allow me and Alize to act as envoys.
May I ask why?
We have seen with our own eyes the hardships the Garleans face, how their futures and lives hang in the balance.
It's not the warmest invitation, but it's an opportunity to prove our intentions true. Maybe not a chance to make things right, but a chance to make them better.
What would your mother say if I let you go you two go off by yourselves?
I can see that persuading you otherwise is a lost cause, but you will proceed with the utmost care.
A couple of children and what? A sellsword? Is this an insult?
Not in the least. You will find that they are more than qualified to speak on our behalf.
There are many dangers on the road ahead. I will need that back.
You will be received as invited guests, and so I urge you to observe proper social etiquette and conduct yourself accordingly. Your safe return takes precedence above all else. Remember this. Thancred in particular will be worried sick if you're gone too long. May the Fury watch over and keep you. Are you and the children ready? I'll explain the route once we are outside the camp. If anyone attempts to follow us, we will judge in an act of hostility. We will not hesitate to take appropriate measures. I would expect nothing less. You have our full cooperation. Alright, this is far enough. Listen carefully. We head over that hill, then follow the road until we reach Liminal Station 4. Children in the lead, I want you where I can see you. We do have names, you know? I'm Alizé and he's Alphino. Not least but not least. Last but not least, there's Rain. Rain, never heard that before. No matter, Alphino and Alizé will watch the road ahead, while we bring up the rear. Wasn't lying about there being many dangers, so you run, not saunter, run. Not saunter, run toward the station. But even think about going for your weapon, the deal's off. Should any creature bar the way, we go round them. Okay. Ready to make a dash for the station. Not the easiest surface to run on. Yes. Truth. You better not draw attention, yes. That thing is standing awfully close to the road. Whew. This is it, the first stop that is. Good. Looks like your friends knew better than to follow us. Are these your headquarters? No, we're stopping here so I can check for your for pursuers. Since it appears you've kept your side of the bargain, we can carry on. North of the station is Regio Domorum, one of the many residential areas, or at least it was. The afflicted roam the streets in packs. They'll tear us to shreds if we're given the chance. Keep close, no wandering off, understood? From here, we'll be heading northeast, keeping to the left of the railway. But the route itself is straightforward, getting past the hordes unseen is anything but. Keep your weapons at the ready. They would attack their own countrymen? Aye. They spare their own, but slaughter the rest without hesitation. Though we'll try to avoid detection, the chances of sneaking by completely unnoticed is slim at best. I will lead the way, but in the event we are seen, you are to fight them off. Those two will follow us, provided they can refrain from drawing their weapons. While I doubt they would be foolish enough to stab their guide in the back, I will not take the chance. With that said, let us proceed. Do, 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 do. I see why comrades chose you. Iulus, as a contingent, has a cure for the afflicted, the tempered as we call them. Your people would need to be taken into custody that we may administer the treatment, but they would eventually regain their sanity. Is that so? For I know your treatment would simply force them to forsake one master for another. As far as I and my legion are concerned, they are no longer a people. They are beyond saving. Those who thought differently and tried to reason with them are butchered for their bleeding hearts. Come, we have to keep moving. Damn it, Iulus. You little blue-haired prick. Where do you even find blue hair dye? In the apocalypse. That's what I want to know. Looks like we're not being followed. We will continue onward. Okay. I meant what I said. These people deserve only death. Stayed my hand before only out of desire to remain undiscovered. And that is still the higher priority. We should continue to avoid any unnecessary confrontations. Just keep following the railway.
Actually, I've used this in a while. Whoa. Those look different. That looks unhealthy. Looks like, look at what they've become. Would you still stand there and claim that they can be cured? Those exposed to a vast quantity of a primal ether may suffer severe corruption. Even with treatment, such victims are beyond salvation. Then you admit it. Now that you've seen the monstrosities for yourself, perhaps you will think twice before speaking of a cure. Ah, stuck in my head. We're almost there. You've kept your side of the agreements. I will keep mine. This way. This is Tessium, one of Garlemald's largest stations. I know it serves as our headquarters. I've already sent the twins ahead. I will be, with you soon. So wait for me at the bottom of the stairs. It's plain to see why they chose this as their base of operations. They could have done a lot worse, even so. I imagine it's not the easiest place to live. Indeed, and if yours was willing to make the perilous journey to Camp Broken Glass in search of food, their own supplies must be all but exhausted. They may be shielded from wind and snow, but it's still bitterly cold. Much like Victor's spoils, it must be a constant struggle to keep the people warm. Your voices. Well, you may be here as my guest. The others will not take kindly to your presence. My commander's in the locomotive over there. An etherite. Why would they have these, is my question. They can't teleport.
So that's kinda weird.
These are their chosen representatives.
Very well. Let us hear what they have to say.
Yes, sir. I present to you our commander, Lord Quintus Van Kina, Legatus of the First Legion.
The First? I had no idea you had survived.
We lost our Emperor, our city, more than half our troops. For my wounds, I may never take the field again. But we survived, aye. In a manner much to your liking, I dare say.
We have no intention of adding to your misfortunes, nor do we bear you any ill will.
Spare me. Though you children may speak in earnest, overtures of peace ever ring hollow in my ears. So long as man stands to profit from his neighbor's suffering, war is inevitable. Driven from our ancestral homeland into this blasted waste. Yet still you yearned to rob us of our paltry scraps. 'Twas only with Magitech that you learned to keep your distance. Though we knew it was only a matter of time before you regrouped and returned. Conquest and empire were our only defenses. Emperors Solus and Varys understood this, and through their campaigns saw us grow and prosper. Much blood has been spilled in Garlemald's name, aye. But if it is a choice between yours and mine, then it is hardly a choice at all.
I do not deny that a great many conflicts throughout history were driven by the desire or necessity to gain by another's loss. That is not why we are here. Nor have we come to petition your aid in the war with the Telophoroi, grave though that threat may be. Our purpose is simply this. We wish to help you. Let us help you. If there is aught that can be done to ease your plight, we would be glad to do it.
Perhaps you would. But regardless of the ideals you espouse, your leaders would not send an army into Garlemald if they did not stand to benefit. If we accept their aid, they will expect their efforts to be rewarded once the Telophoroi are no longer a threat. And after compensation and concessions, the great empire would be brought to heel. Her enemies rejoice at her downfall. Our third eye, a mark of shame.
We won't stand idly by and let your people be humiliated. And we're not alone in that. We only want to make a difference, to make this world of ours better. Surely you can understand that. What I'm trying to say is, there are so many people who just don't care about making you suffer. And maybe that's almost insulting after all the suffering you feel the world has subjected your people to, but believe it or not, that's the truth. And now we're here, and all we're asking is for you to tell us what you want, what you hope for.
So much blood has been shed, so much lost. All because of this endless war. Who wouldn't want to end it? Can we not work together to face our problems as one?
Answer me this, young peacemakers. If a world without conflict is your desire, Why reject the unity and prosperity of Garlemald? Is it because we do not share your faith? That we do not share your heritage? That our ideals and virtues differ? That we cherish and hold in the highest that which you do not? Disparity is the root of discord, and peace built on compromise is flawed and fleeting. Happiness for one and all is a dream, and the reality is that to the victor go the spoils. That is why we Garleans will never submit nor surrender. For freedom and for pride, we will remain true to ourselves until the bitter end. That is my hope. It seems there is nothing more to say on the matter. You will remain here while I decide what is to be done with you. Do not be alarmed. No harm will come to you, if you cooperate.
We will not resist. However, as your guests, I ask that we be allowed to speak with the other members of your group.
As you wish. I had no intention of locking you up, as by dawn you would be frozen stiff and you're no good to me dead. You are free to move about the encampment, but there is one condition. Collar them.
What are these?
Incentive. You'll be watched at all times. Stray too far or act suspiciously, and we will administer a rather painful shock. Stop. Keep away from that one. The champion of Eorzea is not so easily cowed.
I see my reputation precedes me.
Even if he allowed himself to be collared, the shock would be no more than an itch. No. If he refuses to obey, we will activate the twins' restraints instead.
Oi.
You needn't worry about us.
We'll forget we're even wearing them soon enough.
Even now, you still... Why go to such lengths? What is it all for?
The coldest, blackest of nights, meager though it may be, we must share the warmth of our fire. Ah!
You are a curious one. A far cry from the merciless barbarian others paint you to be. You will be their warden. Take them away.
Yes, sir.
He's like, the fuck, me? Okay.
And our trend of quoting Osfor at people continues. As per Lord Quintus's instructions, I'm to supervise you during your time in Intessium. Before you ask, no, I don't have a key for the other means to remove your collars. Nor would I tell you if I did. And if you try anything, I'll soon wish you hadn't. So, do you truly intend to speak with the others? Or was that merely a ruse? We're in no hurry to disobey Lord Quintus, if that is what you mean. Or perhaps you doubt the wisdom of his decision. Do as you will, but remember, I'll be watching. If I catch wind of what you doing anything untoward, trying to trick your people into turning their coats and the like, those shock collars will be the least of your worries, understood? Though he's somewhat compromised, to put it lightly. Let's not waste this opportunity. I suggest splitting up and learning what we can of the situation. And above all else, don't use magics of any sorts. You, on the other hand, may go wherever you wish, even outside the camp. I know full well I couldn't stop you if you ever tried. But do not forget, if you do anything to endanger us or our interests, Alphino and Alize will pay the price. That thing's still off. It's you, Raynambia. I served under Lord Gaius of the 14th Legion. I was there the night the Petroleum fell. You and your adventurers killed them. My comrades, friends, swept them aside in their dozens, as though they were nothing to you. Maybe I am too. Just another faceless enemy, but to be cut down. But it won't be long until the countrymen return. Until you get what you deserve. Mark my words. There's no backup. So cold. I know who you are. The so-called champion of Eorzea. Come to gloat, have you? I'll wipe that smirk off your face. With the blood of a fallen compatriots, I swear I'll... Damn, so this shit just... Of all times, the worst with a lot with striking distance. And I can't even muster the strength. If it weren't for the third bleeding us, it would be the end of you. Virgilia's treachery nearly lost Lord Quintus's life. We might escape. Took shelter in a mansion, tended the wounded as we prepared to strike back, and then night fell and we gathered around the radio. And the roar, the terrible roar. The capital was in chaos, but we were spared. If you could call this a mercy. Mind intact but body broken. A soldier name alone. I'd cut you down where you stand if I could, murderer. Okay, so you came with Eurus, didn't you? Well, whatever business brought you here, you'd best keep your hands off that etherite. It's deactivated. But rather, you didn't mess about with it. There are others throughout the city, built by Garleans, for Garleans. Could teleport all over in a blink of an eye, provided there was a terminal nearby. These days, however, we use the etherite's power to keep this place lit. Through that comes at the cost of its normal function. Ah, so they figured out the teleportation without using magic thing that Shalian is working on. They figured it out way ahead of anyone else. Well, obviously they wouldn't share it, but did you learn anything of note? Then your findings are consistent with my own. The plight is desperate indeed. The sick and injured are the greatest risks. Without warmth and proper nutrition, I fear they will soon perish.
I realize there's precious little we can do for them at present, but I cannot bear to see them suffer. Please, will you help me tend to them? No magic, though. Is there? My eyes? I can't see it all that well. Thank you. The numbness has subsided a little. I know I won't last much longer. You should look to the others who can still fight. Give them my ration. Hungry means someone else. If me going hungry seems someone else lives to see another day, so be it. At least I can still serve in that way. Those you met fare no better. I was afraid that we'd say that. I know where we were warned against meddling in their affairs, but we can't leave them like this. Perhaps we might gain permission to have the contingent deliver supplies. Quintus may have made his feelings on the matter quite clear, but even he must recognize they are not in a position to refuse help. Maybe yours could persuade them? Though we need to persuade yours first. Well, soon enough. Yes, the people here have barely enough food and fuel to survive. Have you and the other soldiers been able to procure any more supplies? We've been scavenging provisions on the nearby houses, as most families will keep some stored away in the event they were snowed in. Still, going out and getting it is dangerous work. We've a lot of mouths to feed. Fuel is the greater concern, though. We had some ceruleum set aside until it was stolen. We had identified the culprit. Could have been other refugees or one of the afflicted for all we know. Either way, we're down to the last dregs. Without the heating they need, those in poor health are only going to get worse instead of better. If it's ceruleum need, our contingent has secured a ready supply. We can have some sent over. We won't accept your charity. We can hold a little longer. The situation is sure to change. Aye, everything will change. This mysterious countryman of yours, I assume? Heard something of it, haven't you? Well, from what I've seen, there's little you could do to interfere, so there's no harm in telling you. One of our scouts spotted a hooded man issuing instructions to the afflicted, in the bastard's word, loyal servants of the Telophoroi. Then he made his way inside the Imperial Palace, or what stands in its place. We identified the seat of the enemy's power, and we realized Lord Quintus dispatched a messenger to the 10th Legion, saying as much, and instructing them to join forces with the provincial regions to prepare for a combined assault on the Telophoroi. Once the allies arrive, a contingent will be sent running from the hills. Then we shall reclaim the capital by our own hand. How do you intend to survive in the meantime? At this rate, many of your countrymen will perish long before the reinforcements reach Garlemald. They need help now. Say the word, and we will bring you ceruleum. I will speak with Lord Quintus. So, did he agree to it? No, he will not place Garlemald in the debt of her enemies. I have, however, been ordered to search for ceruleum outside. As you are under my watch, you will come with me. Very well. After all, many hands make light work. Many hands. You're a lot more trouble than you're worth. Once we are outside, you will follow my instructions to the letter. We depart shortly.
We will begin a search for ceruleum in Regio Urbanissima. The first location is Forum Soleus, a part to the northwest of the station. You are to remain close at all times, and only as ordered. Follow me. So this is the park. I'm surprised they found space for one amongst all these buildings. Actually, the recreational areas came first. Houses were later built around them. A healthy society requires communal spaces for children to play and adults to socialize. This park was named after the founding father of the empire, the great Solus Zosgalvus. Did we come to extract ceruleum from the wrecked magnetic armor? No, we've already drained it dry. Same goes for the rest of the machina in this vicinity. But as our ceruleum has been stolen, we must scour the city for every last drop. While I don't expect to find anything here, I've decided to try one more time, in case something has been overlooked. I see. With your permission, we'll commence the search. Well, wouldn't the water, though? It is cold. No. Not here, then. Oops. A slide. Yulus? What is this? The water's still liquid. Oh, it's you. Any luck?
There's no sign of any ceruleum. Hardly surprising, but disappointing nonetheless. I couldn't help but noticing you gazing at the pond. Is something the matter? What? Yes, I mean, no, It's just I used to bring my brother and sister here to play. The pond was heated to stop it from freezing over. So like all the other children, they just had to wade in and splash about. Would have stayed there if I didn't drag them out. We'd be sopping wet when all was said and done. Every time. And every time when we'd get home, Mother would scold us, saying we'd catch our death walking around like that. The pond was heated. With cerulean-powered heater by chance? I suppose it must have been. To think of it, I remember seeing engineers tending on the tank beneath the hatch. It was a long time ago, when the water still flowed clear and wasn't this brackish muck. We can't see a thing, and I can't remember where the hatch might be. The machinery most likely broken, and the amount of filth there is probably the only reason it hasn't frozen over. I'd wager it's still unbearably cold, though. Gillis, what are your thoughts on magic? The average Galeen would jump at the skin with their sword. The first has a few foreign signifying medici, so it doesn't scare me. Then I take it you won't mind if I employ a little now? Elfinose, you have a knack for finding dry wood. Why don't you bring me some? Once that's done, a blast of fire should do the trick. Leave it to me. You're not planning to go in there, are you? Of course I am. Tank isn't going to fetch itself. It's nothing so involved as extracting unprocessed cerulean from the frozen lake, like the Tempests do it. We're talking about a shallow pond in a park, with a way of warming ourselves up after. That is insane. So fancy a dip? A little friendly competition might make this interesting. Last one to find a cerulean tank is a rotten egg. Though I dare say we'll both smell like rotten eggs if this is over. I think it was right here. No. Is it wherever the last one he uses? Oh no, that is. Nothing! Wow! I'm holding a thing. I'm sure. However, your grand discovery comes at a great personal cost. You become acutely aware of the freezing cold and rancid odor emanating from every ilm of your body. You will doubtless feel compelled to pinch your nose shut when you deliver it, urging your prize. Did you find anything? Oh, I hope you did. Sure did. There you go. That's it. There's still some cerulean left. Ah, the fire's still not ready. Hold on. I'll give off another hand. Call me Noldan, because by fire I am reborn, and my clothes are mostly dry now too. I appreciate you recovering the cerulean, but I wish you'd taken the time to discuss the plan with me beforehand.
Despite the way you've been treated in Lord Quintus's eyes, he is still an voice deserving of protection. If you were to die in my watch, he would be most displeased. Your concern is duly noted, but all's well that ends well. Yllis, you mentioned coming here with your younger siblings. Did you grow up in Garlemald? I did, not far from here. My father was an accomplished researcher in his youth, and for his contributions to the Empire awarded an estate. We lived well, better than many. What was Garlemald like in those days? Everything. It was everything you could imagine, and so much more. Even during the coldest winters, we always found warmth and comfort at home. Coming in from snow, taking off your coat and sitting down for a hot meal with family. Visiting friends and relatives, receiving the same welcome. Knowing they had everything they needed. Walking down the street, seeing the lights in all the houses, hearing the faint sound of laughter and song, with happiness. And although the summers came and went all too quickly, a brief respite, the ice would melt and the forgotten grass make its triumphant return. Grey clouds gave way to blue skies. Some mornings we'd climb the top of the tallest building we could find to watch the sunrise. Never again. Those rooftops are rubble. Those friends are dead. And those memories. But if I could reclaim even a fraction of what we once had. Soon a chance will come. We just need to hold on a little longer. Alright, now that we've recovered from the escapades in the pond, there's another location I'd like to search, just outside the park. Okay. As you can see, the place is littered with the remnants of various types of war machina. Well, my comrades and I have already recovered the tanks from less damaged units. Those that took a more severe beating are harder to scavenge. We decided to save those for another time. The time being now. Rather than prize them apart piece by piece, it'd be quicker to remove the outer casing and using compact explosives. With luck, we'll gain access to the tanks without rupturing them. But the force generated by these devices is relatively weak. I would advise you to stand well clear to avoid being hit by any shrapnel. Before ever even bothering though, you should check the Machina's ceruleum gauge if you see if there's any left. It should still provide an accurate reading even when the unit itself is inactive. If the gauge is broken, I'll let you decide whether to use an explosive or not. Should you need more, come to me. Understood, let's get to work. The gauge is broken. Brocked even. Checked all three of these. Broken. Empty. Let's just take this one. Why not?
You retrieve the war mechanism ceruleum tank to find it's still half full or half empty, depending on one's perspective. Either way, Eulus will surely be pleased to your discovery. Ha! Glass half empty joke funny, haha. Man. Also, it's always the one that's offshoot. It's so funny. You don't need to search, actually. You need to just find the thing that's at the border of the circle. Explosives? Wait, is that what I think it is? Should be, buddy boy. We've done it again. Truly, luck is on our side. With this, we should be able to refuel quite a few of our heaters. It's time we headed back. Wait here while I go to see how Alize and Elfina are faring.
Finally escaped the watchful gaze of your keepers, have we? Don't react. You'll only draw attention to yourself. Just carry on as you are and listen. After you left with the Garlean lad, Lucia bade a few of us scouts follow you at a discreet distance. We observed you being led into the station, but decided against venturing inside. When you emerged sometime later, and we saw that the twins were sporting Magitech collars, it was clear what had taken place. Now, as quietly as you can, tell me everything. The Legatus himself, eh? Now there's a surprise. This is also the first I've heard of a plan to join forces with the 10th and storm the Tower of Babel. An interesting development, and perhaps the opportunity we've been waiting for. Our comrades back at the camp also received some rather promising news, but it's still too early to get our hopes up. For now, keeping yourselves out of harm's way comes before all else. Whatever demands the Garleans make, indulge them. With luck, this will all be over soon. Until then.
They had not gone far.
We searched high and low, but no luck, I'm afraid. I might have guessed you'd be the only one to find anything.
I wasn't expecting much to begin with. Eventually, there will be nothing left out here for us to... For now, this will have to suffice. We should return to the station.
Ah, there you are. Heard you'd gone hunting for ceruleum above ground. Brought back a king's ransom?
Hardly. But thanks to these three, we have enough to last a little while longer.
Well, well. It's not at all as I was expecting, these ones. For savages, they seem positively docile.
Doesn't look like oi.
It's a poor attempt at humor. In all honesty, I'm grateful for your efforts. But even with another night of warmth, there are those among us who may not live to see the morrow.
Mogus.
I trust your expedition was fruitful.
Lord Quintus!
You could say so.
Use what you procured to refuel the armor.
But, sir, what about the heaters for the camp?
The time for action is upon us. My men and I have matters to discuss. In the meantime, you are to wait here. Do not forget, you are being watched.
The time for action. What did he mean by that?
Yeah, I don't like the sound of it either.
I can only speculate. Clearly something requiring their magitech, given what we just heard. Whether they plan to utilize it now, or after they join with the 10th, is another question. Will they ever escape this cold? Return to and reclaim the idyllic spaces of which Eula spoke?
Finished your war, Council?
Alphino and Alizé are to stay here, as our prisoners. They will be released once your comrades have relinquished their supplies and withdrawn from Garlean soil. Until our terms are met, they will be detained at a separate location.
After everything we've said and done, this is how you treat us.
Our allies have but limited supplies. They may stave off cold and starvation for a short while, but what then?
For now, keeping yourselves out of harm's way comes before all else. Whatever demands the Garleans make, indulge them.
Everything will be alright. Have faith.
Get them out of here.
If you don't let us, they will be fine. Providing they do not resist. Will accompany me back to your camp. I will meet with your leader and present Lord Quintus's demands. Before we depart, however, there is something I would ask of you. Assuming your contingent complies and the supplies they surrender will need to be transported here. The task force legionnaires Marcellinus and Octavia will pilot Magitech armor to your headquarters. You have to inform them that we are leaving shortly. Tell them to ask the I'll for further details in those words. Once you've seen to that, meet me by the exit. You again. It's the L, he said. So that's to be the way of it, after all this. How wrong that you should be the one to deliver the news. Those are my orders, then so be it. For the glory of Garlemald. What do you want with me? Oh wait, no. What do you want with me? Master Eel. I don't fucking know how that's supposed to be pronounced. Lord Quintus has reached a decision. And he would understand. They would recognize the savage as a ruthless, merciless creature. To defeat him, you too must be uncompromising. I'm ready. In the name of Emperor Varys, for the glory of Garlemald, I will fulfill my duty. Have you done as instructed? What do you mean by that phrase? I'm not at liberty to divulge that. What I can say is this. You have no cause for concern if our demands are met. We need to iron this together now. Like it or not, we have to cooperate. There's one other matter. Place I'd like to visit on the way to your camp. Just a short walk from here. Follow me.
This is my home. Our home. At least it was until that night. I was with Lord Quintus when the capital fell, and thus spared. My family, who did not own a radio, were less fortunate.
Oh no.
When dawn came, I made my way here. My parents, my little brother and sister, they were still inside. But they weren't themselves, and they tried to. And I had to. I'd promised to take them away from the capital that very morning, to somewhere safe, to hide until the fighting stopped. I promised. The Garlean flag bears a chain. The bonds between our countrymen. A red link at its center. The blood of the fallen. Our loved ones who lived and died for Garlemald. But if she too fell, who would be left to remember them and their sacrifice? What enduring proof would there be that they were ever here? If we had turned to your gods, would they have saved us? I'm sorry, forget I spoke. We should go.
It's no use.
Believe me, I do not enjoy being here any more than you. But he wanted us to play along, so that is what we will do.
Scoot, scoot. So cute.
It's so cold.
Painfully so. Unbearably.
I've been thinking about what Quintus said. About why no one would accept Garlean rule. Irreconcilable differences. When coexistence isn't an option, only conquest remains. Varys at Gimlet said much the same. Only by uniting the world beneath a single standard would we rid ourselves of the Ascians. United as one people. One race cleansed of imperfections. A cold and unforgiving vision. And when we fail to live up to their standards, what place is there for us in their world? But the truly sad, truly frustrating thing is how damnably similar it all is to the lofty ideals of Father and the Forum. Non-intervention. Always non-intervention. Protect our knowledge and our people, and to hells with the rest of you. And yet, I can see how it happened. Varys and Father looked to their elders for guidance and took their virtues as their own. But for this world was of their making. In who else could they place their trust? All of us lost in a sea of chaos. Searching desperately for purpose and meaning. But it shouldn't just be an extension of another's. It has to be ours. It has to be. We all have a stake in this world. No one should be silenced.
I won't deny that we lack the experience of people such as Father or Quintus. Perhaps they've come to see the world as a series of problems, and the most efficient way of solving them, to reduce everything to fundamental forms. A stone is a stone, a cloud, a flower, no more than that. Simple descriptions that strip the subject of distinguishing characteristics. A man is a man, divided according to race, creed, or allegiance, and to some, defined by such associations.
Is that what you think?
In my misbegotten youth. But what I believed wisdom was no more than aggressive ignorance. I've since learned to look beyond the banners and the politics. To see people as individuals with their own hopes and dreams. As for my dream of building a better world, well, every day I'm reminded that it is far more complex than I had ever imagined. But it only spurs me onward, to find the wisdom and the strength to see it through to the very end.
All of our supplies and an immediate withdrawal. These are your conditions?
Demands. And you forgot about the airship. Once again, you will leave one behind. It will be used to return the prisoners. Their collars will be removed prior to the exchange.
So in the end, not even Father's expertly worded rhetoric could deter you from your chosen course.
Huh?
Not that I thought for a moment that it would. I've no love for violence, of course, but ours is a cause worth fighting for. I just wish he'd realize it too. Sometimes the only way to protect the ones you love is to take a stand, to refuse to suffer in silence. I want you to know I share your conviction. Whether it be on the battlefield or in the debating chamber, I won't back down. I guess what I'm saying is...
You've found your own reason to fight.
Yes. Yes, I have. God's willing, there will come a day when we can finally lay down our arms, and there will be peace. But not until the Telophoroi have been defeated once and for all. And you, brother, will have a vital part to play. By your words and deeds, you'll lead the way.
I pray I am up to the task.
There'll always be naysayers. Those who think us fools for even trying. It's easy for learned elites to criticize earnest efforts and assert their moral superiority, all without offering alternatives. Not that their sophistry has ever wounded you. So stubborn and strong. Stronger than you even know. Don't ever change, you hear me? If you stumble, I'll be there to catch you. Or give you a thick ear. Maybe both, for good measure.
Thank you, Alize.
Hey.
The scouts have secured Alize and Alphino. Their collars were removed without complication as well. They report no casualties, not for their party nor the guards, who will wake from their premature slumber in due course.
It would appear the situation has changed. I propose new terms. We have information that will be of great interest to Lord Quintus, and I wish to speak with him in person.
No. In the event you rejected our first proposal, we came prepared with a second.
ambush!
More are coming! Make ready!
We, the loyal soldiers of the First Legion, proud servants of Garlemald, of the fallen Emperor Varys, shall safeguard these lands from the barbarian hordes until our countrymen return! Stop! Both of you!
Hey!
This child may be the worst emissary I have ever seen.
We received an urgent communication from the Grand Company of Eorzea. Envoys from the Imperial Army, led by members of the 10th Legion, came to Alamigo and requested an audience. They explained that their efforts to coordinate the reclamation of the capital with the aid of the 4th, 5th, 8th, and 12th had ended in failure. Communication between most legions has broken down entirely. Most of the 10th's conscripts have deserted, leaving their forces severely depleted. That is why, unable to continue the fight on their own, they and their allies turned to the Grand Company of Eorzea for aid.
Lies! Every word!
It is the truth, and I have not finished. The 10th has requested that we deliver a message to Lord Quintus. Have the ill stand down.
You have been listening, my lord? What are your orders?
Inform her that we will honor the 10th's decision. Bereft of hope, and now dignity. I release you from your duty. All of you. I take solace, your radiance, in the knowledge you are not here to witness our debasement. 'Twas a grand, glorious dream we shared. Of a world united, of peace and prosperity. We are ghosts, you and I, memories of days gone by. Bonds forged in blood that I will not see tarnished.
Quickly! We have to reach the station before it's too late.
If there is still a chance that Quintus will agree to a truce, we must take it.
I just hope we get there before he and his men do something rash.
Oh, you sweet child.
Much more has occurred since we last met. As for determining what comes next, we must speak with Lord Quintus. Before we proceed, tell me what you know of the First Legion and the position of their forces. They were preparing for war where the refugees in their care were left to go hungry. A reckless, short-sighted plan that risks the welfare of the people they were sworn to protect. Nevertheless, we cannot compel them to accept our aid. If we were to arrive in force with intent to do so, we'd only incite panic. Perhaps they can't be persuaded to follow one of their own. Go with Ulysses back to the station and have him lead the refugees here. Some may be unwilling to or unable to leave. For the time being, I'll take what I can get. Afternoon, on Alizé, the scouts sent to extract him should already be at the station. I will also have a comrades in the area lend their support should it be needed. Understood. Since the teleporter is still inactive, I have to walk the whole way there. Great. This is so unnecessary. The heck am I? I don't know what to talk about, honestly. That scene just gets me every time. Rain, Ulysses. We arrived just before you did. And too late. Too late for what? What's happened? It's Lord Quintus. He took his own life. After the news about the 10th, he relieved us of our duties. Then, when he was alone, he... No, he wouldn't. Thancred and the others, assisted by the soldiers, have seen to the remains. In due course shall the legators be afforded a proper burial.
He released us from our duty. He wanted us to be free. Free to choose our own fate. Without him to guide us, we are... I've just this moment spoken with Lucia. We are ready to commence the transfer of the refugees to Camp Broken Glass, should they be willing to accept our aid. Some would rather die, but most of us just want to live. Songs and standards be damned. We just want to live. We need to speak with the refugees. They'll have to decide for themselves if they wish to come with us. If any would prefer to stay, we can have supplies brought over for them. It'll be a hard journey for the others, but we will see they reach the camp safely. I... It was only a dream, wasn't it? To think we could reclaim it, rebuild it all ourselves. Before this all began, I sent my wife and daughter away to the provinces. There's a chance I might see them again, I'll take it. So take me with you, please. Well, got the thread sorted in the end. All it took was a few adjustments, and now it works as well as it ever did. From what I can tell, the one in Laterum is also functioning as normal. That's where you lot are staying, isn't it? Now that most of us are packing up for leaving this place, I reckon there'll be more use to me and my skills over at your camp. You, the one who treated me with such kindness. Heard from the others that you're not from around here. Thought you were one of us. Not that it makes much difference now. Purebloods, migrants, savages. After a while, the words start to lose meaning, until all you're left with is anger and fear and hate. And I'm too tired. If you and yours have to come to offer aid, I'd be glad to accept. That is so jarring. Just... We've much to discuss. I rescued the attack in Camp Broken Glass. What we'd hoped to talk about with Quintus. But all that can wait. More urgent matters demand our attention. Are there any refugees willing to come to our camp? Thank the 12. Thank the 12. You and I should go first and secure the route back to Camp Broken Glass. With all the creatures and Tempest talking about, I'd expect we'll have our hands full. This should come in handy. Conqueror's chain, courtesy of Luminson's friend. I'd save it for the Tempest, though. I'll mark a few points that need serving on your map. Once they've been taken care of for Riffraff, we'll meet back in our camp. Just that blood stain on that fucking flag. This game is fantastic. Okay. And chain them up. No, apparently not yet. Now. Aha. Okay, this way. I'm walking using sprint because I want to keep Astral Soul, Umbral Soul, Umbral Ice going. I think my stacks up is slightly more useful than being on a mount. Now one more location. This lovely way.
Well, hello. And done we are. Ah, there you are. As expected, I ran into a few beasts who went down without much of a fight. The tempered proved somewhat troublesome, but those chains should keep them under control until our allies take them into custody. With that taken care of, I'm going to gather a few supplies and then return to the station. While I see to that, would you mind apprising Lucy of our progress? As it happens, I have some rather pertinent information from our recent scouting forays, but I'll save that for later. First things first and all that. Ah, Rain. I was informed of Quintus's suicide. Must have come at a great shock to his men. One of the refugees, I'm told some of them were receptive to a proposal, but it would hear first at account. That Semony did not hesitate to accept proves how desperate their situation has become. We'll do our best to make them feel welcome. The troops who participated in the ambush are no exception. They will be afforded the same treatment as the other refugees. Per fighting notwithstanding. After all, even if I wanted to make them an example of them, there's no one left to learn from it. We will tell our allies that these soldiers were acting under the direct orders of the legators. That following his suicide, they have offered a full and unconditional surrender. Perhaps Quintus thought that we had lived. That had he lived, he would be tried as a war criminal, and his men punished with him. Perhaps by taking his own life to absolve them of any culpability. Or perhaps, like many others, he was a true believer to the end. Who can say? I didn't know the man or his heart. His reasons, noble or otherwise, died with him. It falls to us to clean up the mess. I assume you're curious about how matters have been progressed here in our absence. Quite well as it happens. Now that we've procured ceruleum from Tapper's Den, the recently repaired heaters can provide much needed warmth. Furthermore, we've prepared sufficient food for everyone. Those from Tertium should find a hot meal waiting upon their arrival. There's one for you, so go ahead, get some well-earned rest. I believe that we are capable of wielding a ladle or two without your assistance. On your way, might I ask that you seek out Y'shtola? She was but recently attending to the wounded, but she's meant to be taking a rest herself. See that she is. Yes, I've been taking proper breaks and imbibing sufficient water. But what of the warrior flight? You and the twins have established history of a reckless disregard for your own well-being. We are all fortunate that none of you landed yourself in my care. I've already quite enough to deal with, between the tempered and the first wounded. Alas, though I can mend their bodies, the toll and their experiences have taken on their hearts and minds is another matter altogether. For their sakes, we mustn't waver. But nor must we rush ahead in eagerness to see the day one, and in doing so, invite disaster. Alright. Probably last thing for today. Cutscene Palooza.
Is that all of them?
The last of those who agreed to join us, yes.
We left heaters and provisions for those who wish to stay behind. They won't last forever, but hopefully they'll last long enough.
For now, I think everyone's earned a rest. We'll see to those in need of medical attention, so take the others with you and get yourselves some hot soup.
Warmth. At last.
Marvelous, isn't it? All thanks to the resourceful machinists of Ishgard, I might add. On their behalf, I bid you warm yourself to your heart's content.
Hold on. Your people might have scribbled a few things on a piece of parchment, but it was our Leminson Smiths that put the bloody things together.
Well, be that as it may, we single-handedly got the interior heating up and running again, didn't we?
The hells you did! We were there every step of the way.
We? You barely raised a finger to help, you ale-sodden reprobate.
I did a damn sight more than you, you lily-livered bilge rat.
Take that back.
Make me.
I will not stoop to your level.
Here. At ease, man. There's nothing funny in it.
I'm from Alamigo, but was a conscript until recently. Used to eat this with the officers.
Apparently, it's adapted from a steppe recipe. This is my first time trying it, and I have to say, it's not half bad.
It's a bit too flavorful for my liking.
Perhaps compared to what you're used to.
It's the little things that make life worth living, don't you think?
I know this is not a dream, and yet... I felt the same way at the Dragon Song War's end. Every morning I would step outside and need to be reminded that it wasn't my imagination, that my world had been forever changed. And just as I had grown accustomed to the idea, again you change my world in ways I never thought possible. Were it not for you and your fellow scions, the rifts between man and dragon and myriad tribes might never have been bridged. The Grand Company of Eorzea, the Ilsabard contingent. We owe it all to you.
Ah, hush. I'm not that special.
We've shed many tears in recent days, of pain and sorrow, triumph and joy. I much prefer the latter.
As do I.
I'm honored to fight by your side. As an Eorzean and Garlean both, I shall do all in my power to bring my peoples together.
It is a remarkable achievement. Everything that I and the Populares had hoped for, and more.
Would that it had come sooner.
Indeed.
Indeed. Too many are not here to see it. And yet, there is a warmth in my breast, as if they still share in this moment.
Yes, I know what you mean. On a night like tonight, the wind and cold seem to pass me by.
On behalf of the Gallian Empire, thank you for inviting me today.
What? Emperor Varys?
They are being tempered. The talismans! Quickly!
Come on, someone knock him out.
Save me, brave hero!
Oh no.
My lord has requested your presence, and I would hate to disappoint him.
You piece of shit. You piece of shit. Fentanyl.
The experiment was a success, but I fear our time is short. I shall begin the preparations.
Now, it is time for you to awaken. Good morrow to you. Here, have a taste before it gets cold. Oh, but be sure to remove your helmet. Take a moment, too, to familiarize yourself with that borrowed flesh.
Excuse me? That's not my outfit.
So, how does it feel? I, for one, find those first moments
How to
within a
date
new
the
role
warrior
to be
of light.
most refreshing.
Abduct them, put them in the body of a dead soldier.
Engineer by the name of Aulus to thank for this method of soul extraction and implantation. I believe the two of you met briefly in Alamigo. His was a rather sticky end, wasn't it? Thankfully, he was thoughtful enough to leave behind his mind-jack technology. I took the liberty of making some improvements and selecting you as my esteemed test subject.
This is such a pain in the ass.
Come now. To us Asians, it is no different from trying on new clothes. Why not make the most of it by partaking in this fine cuisine? I must say, I have gone to great lengths to reunite you with my lord. When I discovered that his friend was in this neck of the woods, I suggested inviting you over for dinner. He never deigned to respond, but I took his silence as a resounding yes. Oh my! Daddy is pleased his grumpy little boy has finally found his playmate.
Shocked galleon helmet.
Ah, exposition is in order. The Garlean Empire has long outlawed all forms of religion. No gods to worship,
You
no
stupid
risk of
theater
summoning.
nut.
Brilliantly simple. But people being people must turn to something or someone in their hour of need. Who then? Why, His Radiance the Emperor, of course. As you have observed firsthand, Garlemald has seen better days. The legendary Solus Zosgalvus, dead. Provinces near and far in open rebellion. Our bold new emperor assassinated. And that last one even sparked a civil war. What rotten luck. The people cried out for salvation. Their earnest pleas, one might even call them prayers, a supplication united for the Empire to reclaim her former glory. And so their will did manifest, channeled through the corpse of none other than Emperor Varus himself. And lo, the Savior was born.
The embodiment of the Garlean spirit. Their anima.
Well, hello there.
It calls to its subjects, compelling them to take up arms and fight. And just as the wealth and power gravitate towards the Empire's capital, so too does ether from every corner of the globe. The towers with which you and your allies have been so preoccupied were created as an extension of anima itself. An ingenious design. Would you not agree, my lord?
Does the pursuit of prey you have bested before excite you? Of course not. Absent the challenge, the thrill, your prize is a hollow victory. Butchery. Perhaps you think that to be the extent of my promise. I have no doubt fallen in your estimation since Alamigo. Fair enough. But do not let your disdain deprive us, of an opportunity to craft an even more majestic moment of euphoria. I have been honing my craft as I set the stage for our reunion. Wheresoever there is suffering and despair, you appear to fulfill your duty as defender of this star. The chaos and destruction that my hordes have wrought are my gifts to you alone.
You fucker.
At a loss for words? No matter. As you will learn, I have only just begun.
Oh, will you not finish your meal?
There is only one thing that can sate my hunger, and it would seem my friend has lost his appetite. I hoped this display of civility might prove an entertaining diversion, but clearly we are above such pretensions. While my lifeless body was in the possession of the Ascian, I too claimed another's as my own. It was an enlightening experience to fight in an unfamiliar form. Flaws and failings in my technique were plain to see. Whence rises one's true strength? The flesh? The soul? Perhaps you should like to discover the answer for yourself.
Bonne nuit. No.
Or together.
You piece of shit.
Oh dear! Whatever would happen if my lord were to greet your friends as you? I shudder to imagine what carnage he would wreak. We'd better hurry if we want to avert the bloodbath. You can thank me later for my generosity.
Well, it is time to stop myself.
Ah, there it is. Your camp, I believe. If I were to hazard a guess, I would say that you, the other you, is making his way there as we speak. Alas, this you will have to walk from here. Or run, if you can manage it. My lord would be cross if I made it too easy.
I don't care if he would be cross.
Such ingratitude. I'd not squander this fighting chance. After all, you've obstacles enough to overcome. Right on cue.
This motherfucker.
Tempered soldier, with standing orders to kill those not sworn to anima. Under normal circumstances, you would make short work of them. But on this occasion, the odds are not so heavily stacked in your favor.
Well then. The coming battle you fight is the Unknown Imperial. Yay! I deal basically no damage. Come along! Yup.
Not bad at all, given your diminished capacity. Nevertheless, 'twould perhaps be prudent to keep to the shadows, scurrying about like a rodent.
Inspect him. Ah, a medical kit. How nice. Yes, hello sir, would you be so kind as to open the way? Okay. Medical kit, nice. Another medical kit. Huh. Another medical kit. Find, kill. Okay. Immobilized, that looks promising. Okay. I need an identification key and fuel. Got it. Hello. Got me. Put on my Reaper, can't repair his leg. Just to work, you take his key. Okay. Got it. I got the key. Good, good. Now only to find fuel. Which in all honesty, I don't remember where it was. Wasn't sort of over this direction. No? Apparently not. This way, maybe? There's a dead guy here. With another medkit in his possession. Another dead guy. That could be it. Make way. Shit. Kill him. Die. 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 Okay. Sack. Ooh. There's a lot of fuckers over here. I'm gonna take up this one. Come here. Okay, will this thing help? Nope. Find kill, yup. You do you, buddy. Field concealing wreckage. There it is. Found it. Nice. Okay, get there. Without being attacked. Ah. No. No, you don't. No. I love that I can carry this for 15 minutes. I don't have to, but I could. Come on. Yes. Okay, home stretch. Let's go. Magitek Reaper. Woo! Now that's better. Good, good. Die. Oh, the leg. Proceed. Oh man. But I aggroed both of them? How? That's bad. Come on, die. Perish already. Please. Thank you. Do that. Please help us. Okay. Die, random enemies. Get him. Die. Hello. Okay. I'm ready. Uh-oh. That looks bad. I love this instance. Yeah, it's pretty good. These are all gonna die, holy shit. Ow. Behind the armor. I am. I am behind the armor. Ow. I love the ragdoll animation they gave you. It's really like... It's weirdly complicated as a ragdoll for this game. One of the craziest ragdoll they've ever made. And then never use it again. Ah! What the fuck do you mean? What command? What did the game think I was trying to do? I love that I have the sprout icon though, it's funny. You don't know this Imperial, but he sure does seem like a noob. It's funny.
It is a miracle we were able to restrain the Tempered without suffering casualties.
A welcome one. Arun, Senna, and the others have their hands full as it is. Thankfully, there are enough scales for everyone.
And what of Euless? His symptoms were particularly severe.
They were, but others fared still worse, including some brought back from the Magna Glacius. As those in most desperate need take priority, it may be a while before he receives treatment. But rest assured that he will. In the meantime, we must find our missing friend. May the Fury guide you.
Of all the bloody times for a disappearing act.
Right when the first wave struck, we'd be fools to think it a coincidence. But where even to begin the search? No one saw him leave in the chaos, and we've no trail to follow.
While I know full well he can handle himself, I worry all the same.
Ah,
the ear.
Speak of the devil.
Well, time to call off the search.
Not the devil, Wes.
Case closed.
A hot man in a bunny's body.
That's him. Over there.
Aye, 'twould appear so. Thou art struggling to perceive his presence?
I am. Perhaps, in the aftermath of the wave, there is some residual effect interfering with my faculties. But... Where have you been? We've been worried sick.
Now. All's well that ends well. Are you all right?
Yeah.
Are you all right?
Who are you?
This is so good. I love this. Not happening, fuck ass. Enough, Xenos! Yeet, indeed. Tackling yourself.
Sadly, that is all we have time for today. The effect has run its course, and back to your own bodies you must go.
Playtime's over. Everyone's drawing the weapons.
But where are my manners? You have all traveled so very far, and I have yet to pay my respects. Though in my defense, I was ill-prepared to receive so many uninvited guests. As such, preliminary entertainments were in order. A handful of tempered soldiers to hamper your progress. Refugees to command your attention while I siphon the ceruleum from the shadows. Particularly effective, that. Charitable souls that you are, you bent over backwards to aid them. Heedless of the delay. Predictable to a fault. And so my plan approaches completion unhindered. Anima will soon have absorbed the requisite amount of ether. And then shall come the spectacle to end all spectacles. The eldest and most powerful of primals will awaken, and all shall bear witness to the final days.
Yeah. Anima's a trial, right? It would be weird for Anima to not be a trial. And no, Zodiac is the final boss. There's going to be, you know, Anima, and then... Oh, we didn't have a trial already, so it's going to be Anima, then something else. Xenos again, maybe.
The gods themselves.
And then Zodiac, right?
My meal. Your dear companions, my dessert. Upon this world, I'll feast, and death.
I mean, we already beat Mega Sisters. That joke falls flat, mother. You predicted it perfectly. That is true. we were all like Mega Sisters, Anima, and Zodiac.
Rage, you will render unto me.
For upon thy life's reel wind too many threads of fate, power, weal enmeshed with woe. More terrible still is the attrition wrought upon thy companions, as they are swept up in the storm of thine existence. Take heart and protect them well. They will be your strength and your salvation.
Thank goodness. He's awake.
Is everyone alright?
Perfectly fine, yes. I hope the same can be said of you.
Everything in working order?
Everything's still there, yeah.
That's a relief. Oh, and before I forget, thanks for coming to our rescue.
Given recent events, I would be surprised if you weren't feeling a bit poorly. A hearty meal and a long rest would be my recommendation under normal circumstances, but these are anything but. If Van Daniel's boasts are to be believed, we must act quickly. Once you've blown away the cobwebs, we can discuss preparations for our assault on the Tower of Babel.
Yay! Perfect timing, because this is... I'm going to end the stream. But not... the petting Alphino and the goodest cat boy. There we go. And the goodest cat boy tiny edition. Now it's complete. Thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed stream. Tiny cat boy. Yours. And yeah. I don't actually really know what I'm going to play tomorrow. Might be more of this, might be something else. I have no idea. Bye-bye.